Ten, 9, 8, 76ers. Here they come, baby. That's right. Listen, everyone knows I'm not the biggest Sixers guy or basketball guy in general. We all know that. And I see the comment, yes, I did mess up the title of the show. Thank you, Silent Samurai. Everyone knows not the biggest basketball guy, but I'm not wearing this hat today to like jump on the bandwagon, any of that, misrepresent my fandom. But it's a nod to my friends and colleagues and everyone in this city who's just hoping for something good to happen to this freaking franchise. And last night, it actually did. VJ Edgecombe is getting mentioned alongside LeBron James and Wilt Chamberlain for scoring in his debut. Maxey dropped 40, and the Sixers edged out the Celtics 117-116 to open the season with a win for the first time since the opening of the 2021-22 season when they beat New Orleans. So hell yeah to the Sixers. And here's hoping this is the start of a really fun time for both inhabitants of the Xfinity Mobile Arena. Hey everybody, how you doing? Well, that's good. Welcome to Philadelphia, presented by our friends at Bet Parks. My name is Bill Matz. I'm your director of fun and games for the afternoon. Joining me live in the Xfinity Lounge, it is the host of the PHLY Phillies show and my esteemed producer, Tyler Zulli. What's going on today, Tyler?
I told myself I wasn't going to do it. I told myself I wasn't going to get caught back in this Sixers nonsense because they've pulled the rug out for me too many times, and here I am. One game in, thinking about what can be, because VJ was unbelievable last night.
Really, really fun stuff. Wednesday nights, my wife has a quizzo at a PJ's in Jersey, and people were locked in last night, having a great time at the bar. It was just really cool to see, and honestly, a nice little pick-me-up, because we're gonna talk maybe a little Phillies later on in the show, and I think we all still need a little pick-me-up, and we're all still a little down. I know I still can't every morning look at the hat wall and go, can I do it yet? No, I think I'm going with something else today. Not quite ready to put on a Phil's hat, but we'll get there. But yeah, just a nice little palate cleanser, a great way to start the year. And that brings us to today's headlines. The Sixers beat the Celtics in the season opener, 117-116. And third overall pick out of Baylor, VJ Edgecombe, 34, 7 rebounds, 3 assists. He scored the most points in a first quarter of an NBA debut in league history. LeBron had 12 in the opening period of his debut with the Cavs way back on October 29th, 2003. Wow, that's absolutely insane. His 34, the most scored in an NBA debut since 1974, and the third most all time. Wilt Chamberlain holds that record, 43 when he debuted in 59. Edgecombe is the only player since the turn of the century in 2000 to drop at least 30. It's freaking insane how well it went. And again, I'm happy for Sixers fans. I'm just glad. I'm glad that there is something that's going to be going on. There's nothing worse than when the winter sports are bad, because that time between football and baseball, and like baseball doesn't really get, like, I think Memorial Day is like reopening day. Like, yeah, man, we get going maybe the last couple days of March, early April, but it's, the last weekend of May when it really picks up, I would say, when it actually is. It doesn't feel like preseason anymore. That time period when it's dead, when both the Flyers and the Sixers are just like, all right, where are we drafting? Are we really looking at lottery odds? Am I doing tankathon? Are the Sixers guys and me and
Spinning
Charlie
wheels?
the Sixers guys and me and Charlie both spinning tankathon on our shows? Like, is this what we're up to? So I'm just glad. I'm glad for like the real Sixers fans out there and anyone who wants to jump on the bandwagon, because it's pretty dope. It's pretty dope to open the season against a team you freaking hate, historic rivals. You beat them. Your first win on opening night since 2021. Make room on the bandwagon. And Tyler, I gotta ask, like, 77, pretty dope. Pretty cool freaking number. Is anyone other than Luka known for it?
I don't think so. I don't. Not that, like, off the top of my head, I can't come to mind. But like, it looks good. And I'm watching the game, and then I'm watching some of the highlights. And highlights are what they are. But that first step is so smooth. He's ready to drive. He's ready to shoot. He's ready to play. And I watched a guy who, like, that 77 looked smooth because it was a guy who felt comfortable with the basketball in his hands, felt comfortable receiving, and then going right to the hole. And I understand that there's going to be times where he's going to maybe get too aggressive and try to, like, slam, throw a jam home from the free throw line and come up short. But I'd rather that than a guy who's intimidated to shoot. Like, this guy is not afraid of getting the rock in his hands and making plays with it. Couple good backdoor cuts that led to a bucket. Couple good finishes with his own, playmaking ability. Then some catch and shoot stuff too. He looked poised. He looked really good last night.
Guys, I know the title is wrong. I got it wrong. I was writing a bunch of stuff down.
I changed it.
And then I filled stuff out. And I was like,
changed.
Maxey had 40. And then I just got it wrong. I know. All right, cool. Yeah, Tyler's all over it because he's good at his job. He's literate, unlike me. I just imagine so Maxey drops a cool 40. He hits 7 freaking threes. That's awesome. How great of a debut did it have to be for Edgecomb? I guess it has to be in the same breath as Wilt and LeBron to make not the headline. Embiid plays 20 minutes. He's minus 16. Hits 1 shot from the floor. Finishes with 4 points. Like, you know what? That's awesome. For it to be that good of a debut that no one I've heard today is like, ooh, Joel. Like, I guess it's a work in progress. Who the hell knows with him?
Well, and it's funny you bring that up too, and I'm thinking about Maxey's 40, and it was like, any other given night, like, that's your star of your game because he's a high scorer, right? But because of being a rookie debut, I mean, just 74 points between these two guards is unbelievable. And somebody brought it up in the chat, and you said, hey, if you said 2 players on the Sixers had 74 points combined, and neither of them were Joel Embiid, that tells me you're probably going to win the game way more times than not.
Seems unlikely, and I'd be remiss if we didn't mention also Dominic Barlow. Put up 13, 96 career games before last night. He's only scored more than that twice. He went to St. Joe's Prep, so pretty cool as well. Make room on the bandwagon. I'm jumping on. Listen, I got to do pre and post for every Flyers game. I don't have it in me to invest heavily in the Sixers, but I'm excited for everyone who can. I'm excited for everybody who can, and again, when the winter sports aren't good, it's rough. So hopefully this is the for both teams.
Well, that's the thing. Like,
start.
Now the Phillies have been good for half a decade now, but like when the Phillies are bad, summer is a lot more palatable because it's summer.
You can just go outside.
Yeah, you just have things to do. When you're winter sports teams, and I'm not including the Eagles, but like when you're because they only play once a week, so you just have Sunday or Monday or Thursday or whatever it is. But when your winter sports teams that do play multiple times a week are not productive, add on the fact that it's like winter blows, you have all of that, plus your teams kind of stink. It like last winter was a frustrating winter. After Joel misses a bunch of time, Paul George misses a bunch of time, Tyrese misses time, and the Flyers are kind of they took a little bit of a regression step last year. Yeah. It was a rough winter for Philly sports fans. So like this one, the Flyers' expectations are heightened. The Sixers' expectations are back to being playoff contender. I don't know how much further than that, but you get this first big check mark of, okay, VJ looks like he can really hoop. That's a huge step in the right direction.
I just saw this comment from Stephen Paul, and I only briefly read it, and it said something about broken elevator, Tyler. And I was like, how the hell does he know? I guess people just guess, and it's like, oh yeah, they're elevator.
It's
but
broken.
It had nothing to do with
broken
us.
Again.
Yeah, it had nothing to do with us. It's actually just a comment. It's a metaphor, unlike our actual broken elevator once again. But it's not in Matt's Hates Mornings today because we probably won't have time for it. Just want to get to this other headline before the break, Tyler, because This NBA gambling scandal is freaking insane. Chauncey Billups and Terry Rozier were arrested. They're involved with the mob, with rigged poker games and sports gambling. This is like a straight up movie storyline, multi-year, multi-level investigation. The FBI is bringing down NBA head coaches and players. NBA, and like equally ridiculous, like to the actual headline, I read this today on ESPN. NBA Commissioner Adam Silver, appearing on the Pat McAfee show on Tuesday, probably Thursday, said the league has been working with its sportsbook partners to combat attempts at manipulation. All that really funny. Like on the McAfee show, working with our sports betting partners. All of it funny. But this story is effing wild. Jamie was telling it to us this morning. I didn't read the whole thing till I got here today. It's nuts.
Yeah, it's a crazy multi-year, multi-level investigation. And I think anytime anybody here like sees the word like mafia in a tweet, you kind of perk up a little bit. You're like, whoa, hold on now. What?
First of all, mafia doesn't exist.
It's a wild story. And I think I'll be honest with you, just based on what we've been reading, we may only be scratching the surface of what has happened, because now you have the Porter situation last year. There was NBA gambling and insider information and things like that. Now you have a current NBA head coach, a current NBA player, and you pair it with like what we've seen in Major League Baseball this past year with Emmanuel Clase. There's a lot going on with sports gambling internally within the leagues. I think we might just be scratching the surface. This might be a huge, like they had FBI investigation on like ESPN radio today.
You know, I was, when they were discussing, when this whole sports gambling thing really first started to become legalized and it was the big debate and it's happening state by state, I was like, are we really worried? Like, is this just an excuse? Like the integrity of the game? Like there's so much money involved now. Like, yeah, man, of course the 1919 Black Sox were like rigging the game because they were getting paid hot dogs. Like, you know, of course. But now like we're talking about Chauncey Billups, NBA Finals MVP,
it's an
Hall of
esteemed
Fame,
player,
like,
coach.
Yeah, like guys in the league right now where contracts go up to like, I don't know, $80 million a year. Like we joke around like with what hockey salaries are. Like, oh yeah, Connor McDavid, 12 and a half. That gets you like a seventh man. And here we are. I don't know. It's pretty crazy. This thing's wild.
Like and the first ESPN brought it up today. They pulled their bottom ticker down because it had ESPN bets, and we've talked about it before too. Like when I talked about the Class A thing, I'm like, listen, you can see up in the corner who like it's a presenting sponsor. It's part of the game. I have to acknowledge it because it would be hypocritical for me not to. But when you have these conversations, it does become difficult to talk about it because sports gambling is legal. There's a sponsorship for everything in media and things like that. And then you turn it around and you say, what's the line between acceptable and not acceptable?
Oh, and it's just like when we get to that, it's like, well, what do you expect with it being legal? It's like, yo, driving is legal. That doesn't mean I can like go downstairs and do GTA stuff. Like, I'm not allowed to steal Tyler's car on my way out and then crash it into the building. That's still illegal. Like, there are levels. Like, it's just a little common sense. But this story, like, is so far beyond, like, a few, props that did or didn't hit because a guy, like, it seems much deeper than even a little bit of point shaving. Like, some of these Rozier highlights are freaking ugly. This might be an even bigger deal than we think it is. I know that's not like breaking news. Yeah, this is going to be crazy, but if you haven't seen the story, freaking read it, because when you see mafia, you're like, yeah, that's like a real thing? One, no. Two, apparently it is. But that's those are today's headlines. We're a little late, so let's get to today's first break. Whether your favorite team wins or not, there's always another way to win on the BetParx online casino app. Check out brand new casino games like Huff N' More Puff and Fireblaze Sky Queen, which is a BetParx exclusive. It's the only app I use to play all my casino favorites right in the palm of my hand. You can play blackjack, roulette, craps, poker, baccarat, and hot online slots like 88 Fortune, Cleopatra, all of your favorites. Plus, slots based on your favorite streaming shows like The Walking Dead, Breaking Bad, Peaky Blinders. and nostalgic favorites like the Goonies as well. And right now is the time to get in because new users get up to $1,000 casino bonus back if you're down in the first 24 hours. Go to betparks.com and download the app right now to enjoy all the action and excitement from the casino at your fingertips. Must be 21 and in PA, Jersey, Maryland, or Michigan for BetParks. You love to play. You play to win. You bet. BetParks. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
You can't make this stuff up. What's up, sports fans? If you know anything about championship level play, how about championship level car deals every single day? That's where our friends over at Elkin Chevrolet come into play. And our friends at Elkin Chevrolet right there off of Route 73 South in Marlton, they're just a three-man team because that's the way they want to handle their business. It's family. It's Jason, Adam, and Josh. It's three brothers that are in the store daily calling the plays and delivering the wins. There's no fumbles. There's no drama. It's just a hometown squad with an incredibly deep bench of Chevys and prices that will make you cheer. They call it a honkin' good service, and trust me, it is in fact a home run. So if you're scouting for a new Chevy or a pre-owned MVP, make your next move today at Elkin Chevrolet. Real brothers, real deals, and a whole lot of good service. Shop now at elkinchevrolet.com. Together, let's drive.
And listen, not to do the rest of the show on this, but like, yes, it is funny. I do that and then go right into a BetParks read. And listen, BetParks, it's our presenting sponsor. We know this. We're talking about gambling legally, though. We're not talking about rigging poker games or point shaving or whatever the hell else is going on, getting involved with the mob, all that stuff. And it's just that, like, that's exactly what I'm talking, the common sense aspect of, like, gambling on its own is just like anything else. Fine, in moderation, if done legally responsibly. It's just like, I don't know, if you're in the NBA, don't bet on NBA games. Like, it's that simple. It's the whole Pete Rose thing. Like, well, he never bet against the team. Well, first of all, if you choose to believe a word he says, that's on you. Second of all, don't bet. It's like the only rule. Take all the steroids you want, do all the cocaine you want, drink in the clubhouse, rip darts in between at-bats, whatever. Don't bet. And they're like, yeah, but I'm gonna. Well, you kind of get what you get with that. There's like a level of responsibility, things you do and don't get to do. And I realize this story, again, like goes beyond, oh yeah, you know, it's a guy, you know, bet his point under and then missed a shot or two. Like, this is a wide-ranging freaking thing. But like, yes, it is funny. I have to acknowledge it. Doing that read immediately after the segment, but a little bit of application of common sense tells you they're not the same thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, and we were talking about it before the show started, and I don't necessarily even think it's about the money more. Sometimes it is. Sometimes, like in one of these stories, you know, I think there was a read about, you know, getting into some hot water and needing the money, right? But
yeah,
I feel like at a lot of times it may not even be about the monetary side of it. I think it is like a thrill of the chase, right? Like whatever it is, like you're chasing that high of hitting
Definitely.
the big bet or whatever it might be. I do wonder if that plays a part because these are professional athletes, and you did bring up it's not like they're ill compensated, right? Like they are some of the highest paid people on the planet. And so I wonder if there is just a sense of like the thrill of adventure to get into this type of thing. You know, like I said, there's so many layers to this. I don't even know where to begin with the conversation.
I can't wait for more details. Like, honestly, this is an exciting freaking thing. And I hate doing it back to back, but I do have other segments I want to get to, Tyler. So let's hit the other break, and then we can actually like do the final 10 minutes of the show. I got to tell you about Mando. Fall is here. The air is crisp. We're watching football every weekend, maybe hanging out by the bonfire. Great bonfire weather right now. And because it's maybe a little cooler outside, you're thinking, yeah, you're not thinking about sweating that much. You're not thinking all that much about your BO. Well, you should. You really freaking should, and that's where Mando comes in. It is clinical strength sweat control. One swipe and you're good to go. It controls both sweat and odor for up to 72 hours, and after just 12 hours, underarm sweat was reduced by 92%. It works, and it's deodorant re-engineered to stop odor before it starts. It doesn't just mask odor, it prevents it. 100% of study participants experienced all-day odor protection. And right now, you can get in with Mando's starter pack. It's perfect for new customers. Comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, and 2 free products of your choice, like a mini body wash or deodorant wipes as well. And, of course, the always free shipping. As a special offer for our listeners, new customers get 20% off site-wide with our exclusive code. Use code PHLY at shopmando.com for 20% off site-wide and free shipping. That's SHOPMANDO. 20% off with code PHLY. Keep those grundles fresh.
Everybody's got their favorite hard tea, right? So have you thought about what's actually in them? And probably not, because most of the time the can doesn't tell you. And while they try to hide what's inside, Crooked Tea brags about it because it brews real USDA organic tea for real flavor and 0 sugar. There's no fake junk hiding behind the label. What you see is what you drink. So next time you're at the store, flip over the can. And if you can't find the ingredients, just put the can back. Then head on over to Crooked Tea, get 0 sugar, real tea, and full transparency. And you know it, Philly, like real recognizes real. And we don't do the BS fluff stuff. We know what's good and what's not. So why drink the fake stuff? That's where Crooked Tea comes in. Again, 0 sugar, fully brewed real tea, and full transparency. Head on over to crookedtea.com to find a store near you.
All right, this brings us to on this date, and we have a double Phillies on this date, and it's really like one of the highest highs and one of the lowest lows fans could possibly experience. On this date, October 23rd, 2022, it's Bedlam at the bank. The Phils clinched the NL East. They beat the Padres 4-3 to reach the World Series for the first time since 2009. We all remember Harper's ridiculously clutch home run to win the game. Ranger comes in to close it out. Wheeler has the 6 innings, 8 Ks. It was one of the coolest games, one of the most clutch performances, and I know it's just crazy to me. Like, I realize, yeah, and it was 3 years ago, and since then, like, that was a team that seemingly was overachieving on that run, and like they go up 2-1 in the World Series, lose. That was disappointing, but the run itself really fun. And since then, it's declined. You know, we've gone backwards a little bit. It's been way less fun in the postseason. But I know you talked a bunch about this on the Phil show yesterday, Tyler. We talked, like, they're not getting rid of Harper.
No.
That just isn't happening. Even if they wanted to, he just had his 4th kid and got a Fanatic tattoo. I don't think he's going anywhere where they full no trade and 6 years left on his deal. Don't see it happening personally. But, like, go back in time 3 years to the day and tell your past self what the Harper discussion is, what the narrative, I think maybe they're going to trade him. Like, imagine telling yourself that 3 years ago you would punch present you just for delivering the message. Like, it's absolutely crazy the way it has gone. But that was such an awesome run. However, on this date, 29 years earlier, so on this date back in 1993, Joe effing Carter happens. Now, I don't remember this. I had just turned 5 when this happened. I don't even know if Tyler was alive yet.
I was not.
Tyler was not alive. But talk about opposite ends of the spectrum here. Like, Bryce Harper, our guy, basically sends us to the World Series with a home run. Joe Carter ends our season with a walk-off in the World Series to clinch Toronto's championship, and now they start tomorrow. It would have, if they had started today, maybe I'd think they have a chance in this World Series, just because of the vibes. But my God, just Tyler, imagine telling yourself this 3 years ago. Oh yeah, there's going to be like a discussion about trading Bryce Harper.
Yeah, I think it's kind of asinine, to be quite frank. And we talked about it. You and I were talking about it before the show started. Prior to 2024, because like last year and this year postseason, Bryce Harper has not been very good. And I think, honestly, he was almost non-existent in this postseason. He was 3 for 15. Prior to that, he was in the conversations of top 10 in both OPS and in slug for players in the postseason with at least 100 at-bats. And you're talking about being in comparison to Babe Ruth, to Lou Gehrig, to Randy Arozarena, that run that he had, and Lenny Dykstra is the other one. And then it's Bryce Harper prior to 2024. And even with 24 and 25, he's 9th all-time in slugging. And he's 8th in OPS amongst players with 100 at-bats. Like, this is one of the best postseason contributors ever. We have to absolutely acknowledge that he was not good this year in the postseason. But most of his career, especially in 22 and 23, he was excellent.
even in the one win against the Mets, he had the big home run. Like, Casty gets remembered for that game because he has the home run and the winning hit. But, like, man, it just feels like we've gone so far so fast. And listen, in sports, yeah, sometimes guys don't turn back the clock and they are who they are, and it's a shame. But with him, it's almost, I can't, it's not that I don't want to believe, it's almost like I can't believe this is it. Like, he has peaked. And maybe he's never going to win a National League MVP again, but the idea that he can't win an NLCS or World Series MVP again is almost ludicrous to me. All right, one more topic for today. I wanted to hit this People Are Strange story because it is a crime ring was brought down, and it's a lot funnier than the NBA story, Tyler. So in Spain, their national police said yesterday that they had arrested 7 people suspected of stealing more than 1,100 chairs from outdoor seating areas at restaurants and bars in Madrid and other nearby places. The group of 6 men and one woman worked at night to pilfer the chairs from 18 different establishments. They got 1,100 chairs from 18 different places. That seems like a ton of chairs from each. I was thinking it would just be like 1 or 2. And no, it's 18 different places, and they're just taking them. About $69,000 or 60,000 euros worth of chairs. I love this story.
Do you know what 1,100 divided by 18 is?
No.
It's 61, roughly just over 61. They're swiping 61 chairs at a single spot. What are you carrying? 3 or 4 at a time at the most? Maybe 2 on each arm? Where did you find the time?
I guess they had to hit play, like, go back a week later, get the rest of the chairs. Like, I don't know. But I wanted
what
to
do you do? The restaurant owner wakes up the next day, be like, the chair group got us
again. After you wake up and there's like 20 chairs missing, though, don't you start chaining them or something?
You would think
bring them inside? That's my question. But my real question, what's the funniest thing you've ever stolen? Because I used to love to steal stupid stuff from parties. One time I took somebody's, like, their the insert from their silverware drawer. I just took the whole thing of silverware. In middle school, me and a bunch of my friends stole 156 locks in the 7th grade.
Like off other kids' lockers?
Like, yeah, like people close them, but not all the way, and so you take them, stuff like that, just walking down the hallway. The first day of 8th grade, they had an assembly, like, principal, we're going to stop stealing locks. Like, yells at the whole class, this isn't happening again this year. We lost almost 200 locks last year, and me and my buddies are just sitting there dying. Last summer, I'm staying at this place in Sea Isle, and it's right across from the Point, the old carousel. And I wasn't going to steal one of these bikes, but there was a bunch of bikes, like, parked out front that people had just left. It's 4 a.m. It's like the 5th of July at this point. I've had a few drinks. I want to go for a little bike ride. I was going to bring it back, but they're all locked up. I'm down there, and I see a traffic cone, and I just take it back to my house. The next day, Ava's like, why is there a traffic cone in our freaking bedroom? Like, that's Coney. He lives here now. And I love stealing stupid stuff. Is there any dumb thing you like to steal, Tyler?
No, not particularly. I will say one night a stop sign may or may not have found its way into our college apartment. I'm not going to confirm nor deny that. I'm not going to confirm nor deny who was there. But I do remember it being there. And then the next day looking at it and going, that you got to put that back.
Now, did you now take it off the pole?
So I wasn't there. I wasn't there when it happened. I just walked in and it was in our apartment.
Of course not.
No, actually, seriously, I wasn't. But I walked in and it was in our apartment. I'm like, how did you even get this? They're like, it was on the ground. And I'm like, so you were just a bunch of dudes walking home from a party and you just saw this? And we're like, yeah, let's just carry it around. So yeah, apparently it's frowned upon for sure. Right, I would not recommend it.
And that I didn't realize, like, oh yeah, the camera could see me. I'm not telling you to wrap up the story. I'm just telling you we're wrapping up. That is all the time we have for you on Philadelphia today. Thank you all for listening. Thank you for hanging out. If you haven't already, you got to hit that subscribe button. Follow us right here on YouTube on our march to 100,000 YouTube followers. Follow me on Twitter at Philadelphia PHLY, and follow the podcast, because who doesn't love following another podcast? Just search Philadelphia. That is it for us. I am Bill Matz. Thank you to Tyler Zulli. Till tomorrow, be excellent to each other.
We all silly like the mayor.